Hey, cybercrime enthusiasts. Welcome to the channel, where we dive deep into the world's most audacious heists, hacks, and high-stakes investigations. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a story about cybercriminals, data breaches, or FBI manhunts. Today, we're uncovering the TJX hack, the biggest credit card theft in history that shook the retail world and exposed the personal data of over 45 million people. Picture this. You are shopping at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, swiping your credit card, thinking your info is safe. But in 2005, a group of hackers led by a mastermind named Albert Gonzalez was secretly stealing your data from right under the retailer's nose. This is the story of a daring cybercrime, a global FBI investigation, and the devastating impact on millions of victims. From hacking tools to forensic breakthroughs, we've got it all. Let's dive into the TJX data breach. Before we get to the juicy details of the hack, let's set the stage. TJX Companies, based in Framingham, Massachusetts, was a retail giant in the mid-2000s. They owned popular discount chains like TJ Maxx, Marshall's, Home Goods, and Winners. With over 2,500 stores across the US, Canada, and Europe, in 2005, TJX processed millions of credit and debit card transactions daily, making it a treasure trove for cybercriminals looking to steal financial data. But here's the kicker. TJX's cybersecurity was a disaster waiting to happen. Their wireless networks used wired equivalent privacy, or WEP, a security protocol that was already outdated by 2005. Cybersecurity experts had been warning companies to switch to stronger encryption like WPA or WPA, but TJX didn't listen. WEP was like locking your house with a flimsy padlock. It might slow someone down, but a determined thief could break in easily. This vulnerability was the hacker's golden ticket. TJX's servers stored unencrypted customer data, including credit card numbers, names, addresses, and even driver's license numbers. Every time you swiped your card at a TJ Maxx checkout, that data was sent to a central server in Framingham, where it sat like a digital piñata, waiting for someone to smash it open. And that's exactly what happened. Enter Albert Gonzalez, the ringleader of this cybercrime saga. At just 24 years old, this Miami-based hacker was a prodigy with a dark side, charismatic, brilliant, and tech-savvy. Gonzalez wasn't your stereotypical basement-dwelling hacker. He had a knack for exploiting digital weaknesses and a hunger for wealth. But here's the wild part. Gonzalez was already on the radar of law enforcement. In 2003, Gonzalez was arrested for hacking-related charges, but struck a deal with the US Secret Service to become an informant. He helped them catch other hackers while secretly planning his own heists. Talk about playing both sides. This double life gave him insider knowledge of how the feds operated, which he used to stay one step ahead during the TJX hack. Gonzalez didn't work alone. He assembled a global crew of hackers, including Jonathan James in the US, Maxim Yastremski in Ukraine, and others in Eastern Europe and Asia. This was no ragtag group. They were a well-oiled machine, each member bringing specialized skills to the table. Yastremski, for instance, was a master at fencing stolen data on the dark web, turning credit card numbers into cold, hard cash. Together, they aimed to pull off a cybercrime, so big it would make history. Let's break down the TJX data breach step by step. It's a masterclass in cybercrime. In July 2005, Gonzalez and his crew pulled up to a Marshall store in Miami with a plan called war driving. Picture this: a car parked outside the store, a laptop, and a high-powered antenna scanning for Wi-Fi signals. War driving was a popular hacking technique in the early 2000s used to find unsecured wireless networks. And TJX's WEP-protected network was like an open invitation. Technical breakdown. Cracking WEP, or wired equivalent privacy, was designed to secure wireless networks, but by 2005, it was a known weak link. Hackers could crack web passwords in minutes using tools like air cracking, a free software suite available online. Here's how it worked. Packet sniffing. Gonzalez's team used their antenna to capture data packets transmitted over TJX's Wi-Fi network. These packets contained encrypted information, including the WEP key. Key recovery, AirCrack and G, analyzed the packets to crack the WEP key, exploiting flaws in the encryption algorithm. In under 5 minutes, the hackers had the password to TJX's network access. With the key, they logged into the network as if they were legitimate users, gaining access to TJX's internal systems. Once inside, the hackers didn't stop at the store's network. They went for the jackpot. TJX's central servers in Framingham were connected to the store's Wi-Fi, a massive design flaw. These servers stored unencrypted customer data from transactions across all TJX stores. The hackers installed sniffer programs, malicious software that captured credit and debit card details in real time as customers shopped. Every swipe at a TJ Maxx or Marshall's register sent data straight to the hackers' servers. From July 2005 to January 2007, the hackers operated undetected for 18 months. They stole data from over 45.6 million credit and debit cards, though some estimates suggest up to 94 million. The sniffer programs worked like digital vacuum cleaners, sucking up card numbers, expiration dates, and cardholder names. The data was encrypted during transmission, but stored unencrypted on TJX's servers, making it easy pickings. The stolen data was sent to servers in Eastern Europe and China, where it was sorted and sold on dark web marketplaces. Criminals worldwide used the data for fraudulent purchases, ATM withdrawals, and identity theft. Court documents estimate the hackers' network earned up to $400 million, with Gonzalez pocketing millions personally. It was a cybercrime empire built on TJX's negligence. Victim stories. The human cost the TJX hack wasn't just about numbers, it devastated real people. Let's meet some victims whose lives were turned upside down. Sarah from Ohio. Sarah, a single mother, shopped at TJ Maxx for affordable clothes for her kids. In 2006, she noticed unauthorized charges on her credit card. $2,000 spent on electronics in another state. Her bank froze her account, leaving her unable to pay bills for weeks. "It felt like someone had stolen my life," she told reporters. Sarah spent months disputing charges and rebuilding her credit. Michael, a small business owner, Michael used his debit card at Marshall's to buy office supplies. The elderly couple, John and Mary, retirees in Florida, had their identities stolen after shopping at HomeGoods. Fraudsters opened new credit lines in their names, racking up $15,000 in debt. The couple faced years of legal battles to clear their names. These stories, reported in class action lawsuits and news outlets like the Boston Globe, highlight the chaos caused by the breach. Millions faced financial stress, with some losing savings or facing ruined credit scores. The TJX data breach wasn't just a corporate failure, it was a personal tragedy for countless victims. How the breach was discovered for 18 months, TJX had no clue their systems were bleeding data. The breach was uncovered by a stroke of luck in December 2006. Banks, including Visa and MasterCard, noticed a surge in fraudulent transactions linked to cards used at TJX stores. Patterns emerged. Cards swiped at TJ Maxx were being used for luxury purchases in places like Russia and Hong Kong. Visa alerted TJX on December 15, 2006, prompting the company to hire cybersecurity firm General Dynamics. On December 18, the firm confirmed the breach, finding sniffer programs on TJX's servers. TJX was stunned. Executives had assumed their WEP encryption was secure. The company notified the FBI and Secret Service, and on January 17, 2007, TJX publicly announced the breach, admitting that unauthorized intruders had accessed customer data. The delay in detection was a scandal in itself. TJX's lack of network monitoring and outdated security meant the hackers operated freely for over a year. The announcement sparked panic among customers, who flooded banks with fraud complaints. The FBI investigation, Operation Cardkeeper. The FBI launched Operation Cardkeeper, one of the largest cybercrime investigations of its time. The goal: track down the hackers and stop the flow of stolen data. The investigation was a global manhunt involving the FBI, Secret Service, Interpol, and law enforcement in Ukraine, Turkey, and Latvia. Here's how they cracked the case. Forensic analysis. The FBI's cybercrime unit analyzed TJX's servers, uncovering the sniffer programs and tracing their origins. The FBI used packet analysis to study data flows, identifying IP addresses in Latvia and Ukraine. They also examined the dark web marketplaces where the stolen data was sold. By posing as buyers, agents traced transactions to Maxim Yastremski, a Ukrainian hacker who ran a data fencing operation. Yastremski's servers contained millions of TJX card numbers, a smoking gun in the investigation. Gonzalez's role as an informant made this tricky. He was still feeding tips to the feds while orchestrating the TJX hack. But he made a critical mistake, using a personal email account to communicate with accomplices. The FBI traced the email to Gonzalez's Miami apartment, where a raid uncovered $1.6 million in cash, luxury watches, and laptops with TJX data. The FBI worked with Interpol to arrest Yastremski in Turkey in 2007. Turkish police raided his hotel room, seizing laptops with TJX card numbers. Other accomplices, like Jonathan James, were identified in the US, though James died by suicide in 2008 before facing charges. The investigation revealed a complex network, with hackers routing data through servers in China, Latvia, and Ukraine to cover their tracks. Court documents from the US District Court in Massachusetts detail the forensic methods, log analysis. The FBI analyzed TJX's server logs, finding unauthorized access from foreign IPs. Malware reverse engineering, experts dissected the sniffer programs, identifying their code as custom-built by Gonzalez's team. Dark web monitoring, agents tracked stolen data sales, linking them to Yastremski's operation. The outcome: arrests and consequences. In March 2010, Albert Gonzalez pleaded guilty to 20 counts of wire fraud, conspiracy, and aggravated identity theft. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison, one of the longest cybercrime sentences at the time. Maxim Yastremski received 30 years in Ukraine, while other accomplices faced lighter penalties or cooperated with authorities. TJX paid a heavy price. The company settled with banks for $9.75 million and reimbursed Visa and MasterCard $41 million for fraud losses. Total costs exceeded $250 million, including legal fees, system upgrades, and customer compensation. Class action lawsuits resulted in settlements offering vouchers and credit monitoring to victims. The breach exposed TJX's negligence. The company overhauled its systems, adopting stronger encryption like tokenization and retiring WEP for good. Impact on cybersecurity, the TJX hack, was a wake-up call for the retail industry. It exposed the dangers of outdated security protocols and spurred changes in cybersecurity. PCI DSS adoption. The breach accelerated adoption of the payment card industry data security standard, which set stricter rules for protecting cardholder data. End of WEP. Retailers ditched WEP for WPA2 and other secure protocols. Consumer awareness. The hack raised public awareness about data security, leading to demand for fraud protection services. The case also showed the growing threat of organized cybercrime. Gonzalez's global network highlighted how hackers could collaborate across borders, using the dark web to profit from stolen data. Law enforcement responded by investing in cybercrime units and international partnerships. Victim stories revisited. The long road to recovery lets revisit Sarah, Michael, and John and Mary. After years of fighting fraud, Sarah restored her credit but lost trust in retailers. Michael rebuilt his business but now uses cash for major purchases. John and Mary cleared their names but live cautiously, avoiding online banking. These stories remind us that the TJX data breach wasn't just a headline, it changed lives. The TJX hack remains a landmark in cybercrime history. It wasn't just about stolen credit cards, it was a tale of greed, betrayal, and technological exploitation. Albert Gonzalez, a gifted hacker, chose a path of crime, leaving millions in financial ruin. The FBI's Operation Cardkeeper showed law enforcement's resolve to adapt to the digital age, while TJX's failures underscored the need for robust cybersecurity. Today, as we shop online or swipe our cards, the TJX data breach reminds us to stay vigilant. Our personal data is only as safe as the systems protecting it. If you found this deep dive into the TJX hack fascinating, smash that like button, share this video, and comment below. Have you ever been affected by a data breach? Let's start a conversation. Thanks for watching this epic tale of the TJX hack. If you want more cybercrime stories, from the Equifax breach to the WannaCry ransomware, subscribe now and hit the bell for weekly uploads. Check out our playlist on famous hacks for more thrilling investigations. Stay safe online, and we'll see you in the next video.